I'm Ron Klopfanstein on Oneida Square in Utica, where the Oneida County Pride Alliance is holding their third annual Trans Rights Rally. I spoke to three of the participants, Matthew, Micah, and Soph, and asked them what their concerns were and what they were there to represent.
Why are we here today, buddy?
Fight for our rights.
Fighting for our rights. Showing communal representation, trying to just be visible for our folks that can't be. Fighting for our rights to be seen, for healthcare, for our basic human rights is really why we're here, yeah.
Healthcare is one of the big issues right now. Can you articulate what the concerns are for the transgender people at the moment?
So it's a lot of political nonsense with folks just trying to control the rights of trans youth, trans adults, folks trying to dictate how we exist, how we transition, how we deserve our healthcare, just really just trying to control how we deserve to exist as a human being.
The other issues?
Well, I mean, healthcare is obviously one of the big ones, especially youth healthcare. Like I mentioned, a lot of that has to do with people just trying to control trans people. I think it's also trying to use trans people as a scapegoat for other things that are maybe happening in the country that have nothing to do with trans people.
And what are some examples of that?
We're just a big distraction right now, and I wouldn't say we are. We're not the ones who are saying oh, look at trans people. We're the ones who are saying, hey, maybe look at other things, because we're just here trying to exist, and then they try to control us. And I think a lot of it just has to do with trying to point blame at someone who's not actually doing things to distract.
What would you like the community to know about transgender people? What are some of the misconceptions you'd like to clear up? What are the message you have for the public?
I think first and foremost that we are just folks, we're just people trying to live our best authentic life. From being tiny trans folks to adults that are just looking for basic human health care and feeling honestly just at home in our bodies like every human being deserves.
Even if we don't know what we want.
Even if it takes a while to figure that out, right?
Yeah.
The journey is every person's, it's everybody.
Yeah, it's a lot that, we're just people, and we all just want to exist and have the rights and the health care and the opportunities that everybody else has.
Ace Morial is the director of the Oneida County Pride Alliance, organizer of today's event.
So Transgender Day Visibility is a day to celebrate and honor the transgender and gender non-conforming communities. It is a day to fight for their rights and to say that transgender people do in fact exist. They are not a threat. They're actually a vulnerable population in our community that needs to be protected.
What do you think are some of the biggest misconceptions about transgender people?
I think a lot of people start to say they have either a mental illness or they're confused. But the science and history are on our side that transgender people are who they say they are. It is part of the natural diversity of the human experience, and it's something that should be protected and celebrated.
I spoke to Kayla, a participant who held up a sign saying trans rights are human rights. In what ways do you feel like people aren't recognizing that transgender people are humans too?
Well, I mean, just a few weeks ago, Kansas invalidated thousands of people's IDs overnight just because they're trans.
What does that do to them?
Oh, so many issues. They can't drive legally. They can't get into government buildings legally.
So what does that tell you about how our society or the culture, feels about transgender people, and kind of what the obstacles are and what needs to be accomplished?
I mean, it's really just, honestly, I have a really hard time understanding why they're so against it. It's literally just people trying to live their lives.
Sophie, what are your hopes for the future?
What are your hopes for the future, honey?
To
What do you
exist
want? Oh yeah, please go ahead.
like actual people.
Yeah.
We're not different, but it's okay that we're different if we are.
The people I spoke to today all agreed on one thing. Transgender people simply want the right to exist and to be themselves. On Oneida Square, I'm Ron Klopfanstein for 95.5 FM, The Heat. This is Ron Klopfanstein. Meet me in the hot seat every Monday at 5 p.m. for Hot Seat Media Mondays on 95.5 FM, The Heat.